All right, so in this video, we're going to get into LFOs here. So essentially what an LFO can do is this movement up and down can be applied to any parameter on the wavetable, all right? And obviously we have two different ones, but I'm going to teach you how to use one, and that'll help you understand how both of them work since they both work the same way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to assign the LFO to the volume here. And since the volume is all the way up at the top, what we're going to do is we're going to use a negative setting on this LFO. So we'll turn this all the way down to 100%. And now we'll be able to hear the effect of the sound as how it affects the volume of this. And then with your rate, we can affect the speed. So the amount's going to be the top volume level that you're going to get since this is turned all the way up to the top and we have a negative number here. This is a full amount. If I turn it to 0, we're just going to have silence. And then as we go, we start getting more and more volume. So forth. So the next parameter here is shape, and this just changes the shape somewhere between a sine wave and a square wave, all right? And then obviously here we have different shapes set up as well, and we can of course change the shape of these as well. And this can change from an uprising saw wave to a downslope saw wave. Now your offset is kind of important because let's say you want to start from the top and then move your way down. You would set this offset and this would change your starting point. And if we slow down the rate, so now every time I hit this, it just kind of has this down slope. Now I can switch the shape to an upward slope and change the offset. And now it'll go from low to high. Now the reason it continues to start from this point every time is because we have re-trigger set. So what this does is it always starts from the same spot. If we turn re-trigger off, then this just kind of moves at its own pace, and depending on when I hit the key depends on where it's at in its progress. So if I just go ahead and turn that off, you'll notice as I hit this, it's going to be in different locations. And I can make this faster or slower. And as you can see, this is just kind of moving on its own. Other things that we can assign this to would be the pitch envelope. So we could kind of create a bit of a subtle pitch shifting, which gives certain synths a more vintage analog sort of sound because the old synths didn't really stay in tune very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this a little bit, and then I'm going to turn the amount down. That just can create a subtle sort of pitch bend. I can turn this up a little bit more and make it more prominent. I hit the notes, it kind of has that slightly out of tune sort of vibe. So another thing that we can do is we can set the attack amount. So this way, this LFO can actually fade in. So let's make a noticeable speed here. And then we'll put the attack up. And as you can see, it goes from a more subtle to a more extreme LFO. So let's go ahead and do this, and we can hear how it affects things. Oops, we got to make sure that we turn this to -100, and here we go. And the one thing that you will notice is that this attack is going to work whether you have the retrigger on or off. So this is always going to be affected, this volume envelope. Now so far everything we've done has not been tempo matched with the rate, but we can, if we want, come over here and we can set this to 8th note or 16th note or whatever. So this will help it sync to tempo if that's the effect that you're going for. So you could just bounce between either hitting the note thing here or the HZ, the hertz. So that's how the LFOs work in Wavetable.